Alright, let's have a serious conversation. What's up, Great Nation? Gabe the Great back here again for another video. And if this is your first time stopping by the channel, welcome. We talk all things basketball, NBA, WNBA, NCAA, AAU, anything that has to do with basketball, we talk about it on this channel. So if you want to join in the discussion, be sure to hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications, and let's start today's video. Now, recently the NBA just released a rule that says every single NBA team must have a mental health professional on their staff. And so it's got a big conversation going around mental health. Now, I gotta be honest, I don't like talking about mental health. One, because I feel like it's trendy and I feel like it's just what people are talking about. That most people are just sort of virtue signaling when it comes to mental health. That is like, if you talk about that, you'll get some likes, which I think is part of the issue around mental health, is everyone searching for likes on social media. But the other thing is it's this idea that your mental health is somehow separate from your whole well-being, as if you can be well and not be well mentally. Like, I don't know, how do you function well in life without a solid mental health? And I feel like all conversations around mental health is, let's have a conversation about mental health. But for me, like I said, I don't really see mental health as something separate than your personal overall well-being. So when I walk up to a person and I say, hey, how are you doing? That includes your mental health. That includes everything about you. And I think, you know, that's one of the problems, is like we see mental health as something separate. But you can't play this game. You can't be involved in this sport, at least not for long periods of time. You can't deal with the demands of life without a solid mental health. Now, there are many reasons why people are having a hard time, and I see it all the time as a coach. I actually did a video a few months ago. I'll leave a link right up here somewhere for you to see it. And in that video, I said that oftentimes kids are using the sport of basketball as sort of like medication. That this is their escape from their crappy lives and from everything that they hate about school and about their home and all these things. And there were some pretty interesting facts that I discovered while doing that video.
Say you got a team of 10 high school students. Statistically speaking, at least 5 of them are growing up in a broken home. 4 of them are growing up without their biological father. 1 of them will experience 2 or more divorces before they turn 18. 2 of them are or will be depressed. 7 of them will start drinking before they graduate high school. 3 have ridden in the car with a drunk driver, endangering their own life. 3 have been bullied. 3 are bullies. And 4 are sexually active. With the breakdown of the nuclear family in America, it's no wonder that many kids don't have that foundation that sets them up for having high confidence, high self-esteem.
But as all these talks around mental health in the NBA and the WNBA for that matter, Liz Cambridge just released an article for the Players Tribune talking about all the mental health issues she's been going through. She's missed quite a few games this year due to mental health issues. She's been very open about having trouble staying sober and about, being medicated and things like that. And so the best of luck to her, but mental health is something very, very real. But with all this conversation about mental health, it just got me thinking that, number one, money can't buy you happiness. Money is good for the things that it's good for, and bad for the things that it's bad for. So if you want a new car, money's great for that. You want a new house, money's great for that. You want to spend a week-long vacation in the Bahamas doing nothing, money is great for that. But if you want a better relationship with your kids, money's not going to help that. If you want to like the person that you see in the mirror, money's not going to help that. If you need to reconcile some deep childhood trauma that happened in your life that you never talked about with nobody else, no amount of money is going to make that go away. And I think it's something that we really don't understand as a culture. It's because in America, everything revolves around the dollar. But when you have a society that revolves around the dollar is an inanimate object. It doesn't understand us. But we don't understand this in our society. There was even a WNBA player that says, Jeremy Lin shouldn't be sad because he has money. Money is not what makes you happy. What makes you happy is having a purpose. What makes you happy is relationships. Jeremy Lin is sad not because he's a millionaire. He's sad because the thing that he's found purpose in, the things that he's dedicated his life to, the goals that he still wants to accomplish in the NBA, he feels as if he's never going to have an opportunity to go after those goals. It's why Carmelo Anthony was on ESPN. This is deeper than just money. And I think so often because money is impersonal, whenever we see someone who has a bunch of money, we sort of impersonalize them. And we sort of act like they're no longer human because money isn't human and you just see them as a big dollar sign. But rich people are humans too. And yeah, no one's going to shed a tear over how many millions of dollars that you make. But at the same time, these people are humans. And as humans, if they deserve, if nothing else, humanity. The other thing I thought about with this is that we got to be careful in finding purpose in basketball. Like I'm like, you guys hear me say this a lot on this channel, like use the game, don't let the game use you. I think there is a proper way to find purpose in basketball, but I don't think most people do it in a healthy way. I think most people, basketball becomes an idol. Competition becomes an idol. Competing becomes an idol. And their identity gets wrapped up in the game of basketball. Rather than having an identity that's completely separated from basketball and then using basketball as a tool to be able to manifest your purpose. See, for me growing up, I was one of the kids where basketball was my medication. Going out and shooting hoops by myself was a way to get out of my roach-filled apartment. And so because basketball meant so much to me as a kid, I wanted to be able to use the game of basketball to give back to other people. This is what I do with my channel. I try to talk about aspects of basketball that don't just have to deal with the game of basketball, but sort of how does the game bleed into the rest of our lives. See, you don't need another channel on YouTube that talks about drills and how do you do this move and how do you get better at that. There's plenty of channels and they're all really good and they're all really necessary. What I want to do is, how can we take the game of basketball and use it as a tool? How can we take the game of basketball to express ourselves? How can we take the game of basketball and keep it a game? I've said this many times on this channel that I think for far too many people, particularly our young people, our children, the game is not a game. We have to keep this as a game. When I say game, I want you to think about like playing a game of charades. And really, there's no like professional charades league out there. Although the ESPN The Ocho might cover professional charades league, you never know. But if we were to play a game of charades right now, we will play the game. It will be highly competitive because we're all probably competitive people who watch this video. And then after the game is over, 5 minutes later, we're not even thinking about it. That's a game. Something that you can play, have fun, and then when it's done, it's done. But for basketball, it's not like that with so many kids. With so many kids, they go, they play the game, and they tried to have fun, but they couldn't have fun because their coach messed it up for them or because the parents messed it up for them. And so now basketball becomes this chore. Basketball becomes this thing that you have to do because your parents say you have to do it or because the coaches say you have to do it. And it takes the fun out of the game. I know that 99.9% of the people that I've ever coached in my life will never play Division I basketball. They're not gonna play in college. They're not gonna play in the professional league. So it's my job to use the game of basketball as a tool to teach them skills that's gonna translate over into life. To show them how being a useful member of a team is a skill and a quality that you're gonna wanna have for the rest of your life. I don't know, I may be going on a tangent getting off topic here, but the point that I'm trying to make is that money's not gonna make you happy. And having your identity completely wrapped up in a game is not healthy for your mental health. And the other thing I want to say is, man, we gotta get used to spending time by ourselves. A lot of us, we're just too attached to the phone. If you look at the data shows you there is almost a direct correlation between when we started to use social media as a culture and the increase in things like depression and suicide and all these things. I mean, one of the best things that I ever did for my life was I deleted Facebook last October. And literally since last October, I believe that my channel has tripled since that point. I've become more productive. I've been able to focus more on self-improvement, and I've been able to be more grateful for the things that I have in my life and not worrying about somebody else's life. I also know that when it comes to mental health, that there's not going to be one person or one governing body that's going to be able to fix everybody's mental health issue. It's honestly going to be the responsibility of parents for children and for adults to take that upon themselves and to understand that your mental health is your health, that your mental health isn't separate from your health. It is your health. So yes, I'm glad that the NBA are taking steps to address mental health, but what do you guys think? What do you guys think about the conversation about mental health? What do you guys think? What do you guys think about the NBA's new rules that every NBA team must have a mental health professional staffed on their team? And what are some ways that we as players, coaches, and parents can help each other in the basketball community deal with mental health? Again, if you like it, subscribe if you're new. I'll see you next time. Peace.